I'm recording this video after completing the first week of the DIY data science curriculum that I laid out in last week's video. If you want to learn more about the foundations of my self-taught data science project, then click the information card up above. But if you want to hear an update of how my classes are going, what I've learned this week, what I'm learning next week, then stick around. This is the video for you. My name is Bianchi. This is Define Wisdom. If you want to keep track of my data science journey and come along for the ride, then please be sure to subscribe. And if you have any comments about what I say in this video, about the courses I'm taking, if you've taken them before, if you have any thoughts about what I'm doing, then again, please be sure to comment. That stuff helps out the channel immensely. And while you're down there, do not forget to smash the like button. So what did I do in my first week? I'm going to be going course by course. Starting with the University of Michigan, this week was mostly about data visualization concepts. The art of making simple graphs, the effect that graphics can have on graphs, and the things that people can do to create misleading visuals or otherwise manipulate viewers. It was a good first week to the second part of University of Michigan's applied data science curriculum. The first part taught me a lot about Python and the Pandas environment, and I'm looking forward to finishing out this chunk, which is mostly to do with data visualization. Because of that, I think I'm going to be able to progress relatively quickly, maybe finish it out in a week or two instead of the 4 that it said it was going to take, but that is what it is. I'm going to see as I progress this week. NAND to Flash has been fantastic and easily the most challenging class I've taken so far. This week we worked with NAND gates and building other gates or logic functions. This is the nitty-gritty of how your computer takes in 2 inputs and outputs something based on what you put in. We built AND gates, OR gates, multiplexer, demultiplexer, all of this stuff. I'll put some visuals up here to maybe explain what I'm talking about, but it was challenging, I enjoyed it, and I have immense respect for electrical engineers who do this stuff for a living. I had enough of a hard time with this first week. I'm happy I am a computer science student and not an electrical engineering student. Right now we're laying the foundations for what will eventually become our virtual computer architecture, and I have to say I'm really enjoying the process. In the Stanford SQL course that I'm taking, I've already finished all of the lectures and started the practice problems. I can only assume that this course isn't meant to be completed over a period of many weeks, or if it is, it's only supposed to be a few hours each week because I flew through it one day. We learned basic where, join, aggregation, dealing with null values, and manipulating data. I think that I'll be able to finish the course this week, and after that, I'm confident enough to put it on my resume as an intern. Obviously, I wouldn't put it on my resume if I was actually applying to jobs, like full-time positions, but as an intern who could brush up on more SQL before the internship actually began, I'm pretty happy with where this course is leaving me. Stanford does have further SQL classes that I could take if I want to. I might hold those off for now. SQL definitely isn't the thing that gets me going, and it isn't necessarily moving me towards my end goal of putting a real project together relating to data science at the end of this experience this winter. So I'm happy with the stuff I've done in SQL so far. I'm looking forward to finishing it out. And yeah, I'm very satisfied there. The progress was a lot faster than I thought it would be. And the other course that I said I was going to do was the Analytics Edge from MIT. This first week we laid out the core concepts of R, and because it was mostly stuff that I already knew how to do in Python, and R seems to be a pretty easy language, at least fundamentally, I didn't have any problems with it. The learning, that is. I do kind of question whether or not I really want to dive into this course, because right now the end game is completing a project on Kaggle or any other kind of machine learning data science project that I could put on my resume for internships. That is the goal for the end of these 2 or so months. And learning R when I want to do that project in Python doesn't really seem like a good return on my investment. The opportunity cost of learning stuff in R that I already know how to do in Python versus just straight up learning more Python, it's not exactly equal. But I do still need that analytical understanding, so I think my plan is to go through the MIT lectures, kind of take some notes, learn some of the concepts, but back off on a lot of the homework assignments that obviously all involve R. Let me know what you think about this decision down below. I think it makes sense. Just kind of focus on one thing, get good at Python, and then worry about R if I choose to. I'm not going to need to use R anytime soon unless my internship next summer requires it, in which case I'll just brush up then. So even if I did learn it now and then I go and do a bunch of Python, the R is going to get rusty anyways. So it doesn't seem to make sense for me to put that much time into it. Although because now that the SQL course is almost done and I'm kind of moving down the intensity that I'm doing the MIT course with, I'm gonna have more time on my hands, so I think I'm gonna put that towards the Kaggle micro courses, specifically on machine learning. Once I finish those, whenever I do finish those, maybe move on to the Google crash course in machine learning and kind of start to build up on the machine learning fundamentals. That way I can strengthen my Python, work towards that goal of completing a project at the end of this little term, and everything will be well. Everybody recommends the Kaggle micro courses on YouTube, and I chose not to start with them because I had a great experience with MOOCs, massive open online courses, in my first semester when I was doing a couple on the side. Now that I've kind of expanded my horizon to take other MOOCs, I do realize that there's definitely differing levels of quality. Some universities seem to have taken a professor, put him in an office, give him a webcam and a microphone and said record this lecture series, and other universities have set up productions and put a lot of effort into curating a curriculum for their online students and building a community, and I appreciate that. I'm on the 66 Days of Data Discord, which has been really interesting so far, and Ken G, who made that Discord, also has a lot of videos about data science projects that I am watching and kind of using to familiarize myself with what I'm gonna need to know. A lot of the videos that have to do with internships all mention GitHub and the importance of having one set up, so to kind of familiarize myself with the platform, I have set one up. I know that my homework isn't exactly something that is super interesting to GitHub, but I think NAND 2 Tetris is kind of open-ended enough that I could upload some things there to just kind of get to know the platform, and eventually when I do actual projects, I'll know how to document everything there. I did mention last week how I thought my lack of mathematical understanding could prove to be a burden for learning these data science concepts, and I don't think that's going to prove to be true in the short term. Obviously, eventually, I'm going to have to take linear algebra, I'm going to have to take advanced statistics, but I'm going to be doing those at my university in the next couple of semesters, so why learn it now when I'm going to have to sit through it again in the next few months anyways? It also cannibalizes my university education if I go and learn it all on my own anyways. Whether or not I could learn all of this on my own anyways, and university is a massive waste of time and money, that's another question, but I got big scholarships that probably make it worth it for me to get my bachelor's degree. I also have some aspirations in higher education and maybe getting a master's or PhD one day, so just I don't know. My take on college is on my YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to go check it out. By the time I get to the point that I really need to understand those math concepts, I might have either already taken the classes, or I could just learn the specific things that I need on the way, or I would have already switched to a different form of programming. I'm doing data science this winter, and I want to complete this. I want to put a capstone project on it, but after that, after these few months, I do plan on going to other programming, whether it's free code camp to learn full stack, or delving deeper into C or C++, into lower level programming languages. So yeah, I'm definitely not too concerned about the math stuff anymore. Computer science is going to be an exploratory journey for the foreseeable future. And what do I have coming up? Well, in the University of Michigan, it looks like it's just more data visualization, and NAND 2 Tetris, we are working towards computer architecture and building one of those. I think we're going to do more Boolean gates and functions, kind of in a continuation of the first week for project number 2 in the SQL course. I'm going to do probably a majority of the practice problems that they have laid out there. And in the analytics edge, I'll probably do 2 weeks of lectures on different days. I have learned a few things besides what I've already talked about, mainly that I think it's better to do a little bit of lecture and then a little bit of practice instead of lecture and then maybe the next day practice. That way the concepts kind of formulate in my brain better. I'm not necessarily new to teaching myself things on the internet, but I definitely have a long way to go before I'm some master of self-taught education. That sentence didn't make sense. Probably because it's the end of the video and I've recorded this twice, so my brain is running on fumes. And I'm dehydrated. I tend to get dehydrated recording these videos because I always forget to bring enough water. Still have a little bit left though. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, all that stuff helps out the channel way more than you think. And if you if you made it this far into the video, then you've already invested, what, 7 minutes of your life into me, so you might as well invest another few hours. Go to my YouTube channel, hit subscribe, and watch more content. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Peace.